top 5 longest ongoing military occupation. This includes only those military occupations that are still going on as on 2017. At 5th we have Kharkiv occupation by Armenia. For those who don't know where Kharkiv is, it is a village that is a de jure exclave of the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic of Azerbaijan. The village is near the border with Armenia, located on the bank of the Arpak River near the Yerevan-Jermuk Highway, which is 15 kilometers away from the district center. The area of the village itself is 950 hectares. Majority ethnic Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh backed by the Republic of Armenia and the Republic of Azerbaijan were engaged in long ethnic conflict that took place in the late 1980s to May 1994. As Azerbaijan declared its independence from the Soviet Union and removed the powers held by the enclave's government, the Armenian majority voted to secede from Azerbaijan and in the process proclaimed the unrecognized Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh. Full-scale fighting erupted in the late winter of 1992. International mediation by several groups including the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, failed to bring an end resolution that both sides could work with. In the spring of 1993, Armenian forces captured regions outside the enclave itself, threatening the involvement of other countries in the region. By the end of the war in 1994, the Armenians were in full control of most of the enclave and also held and currently control approximately 9% of Azerbaijan's territory outside the enclave. As many as 230,000 Armenians from Azerbaijan and 800,000 Azerbaijanis from Armenia and Karabakh have been displaced as a result of the conflict. A Russian-brokered ceasefire was signed in May 1994 and peace talks, mediated by the Osmansk Group, have been held ever since by Armenia and Azerbaijan. Since then the region of Kharkiv remains occupied by Armenia. At 4th we have Transnistria occupation by Russia. Transnistria is a self-proclaimed republic on a strip of land between the river Dniester and the border with Ukraine. The region is considered by the UN to be part of Moldova. Before the creation of the Moldavian SSR, today's Transnistria was part of the Ukrainian SSR, as an autonomous republic called the Moldovan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, with Tiraspol as its capital. In November 1990, limited conflict broke out between Transnistrian forces and Cossack units. Cossack forces were supported by Russian army. Fighting intensified on March 1, 1992 and, alternating with ad hoc ceasefires, lasted throughout the spring and early summer of 1992 until a ceasefire was declared on July 21, 1992, which has held. The conflict remained unresolved, but in 2011 talks were held under the auspices of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Even today the region of Transnistria remains under the control of Russia. At 3rd we have southern provinces occupied by Morocco. The southern provinces or Moroccan Sahara is the western coastal region of northern Africa just below the Morocco. An armed struggle between the Sahrawi indigenous Polisario Front and Morocco between 1975 and 1991 after the withdrawal of Spain from the Spanish Sahara in accordance with the Madrid Accords. According to the accords, administrative control of the territory was transferred to Morocco and Mauritania, but not the sovereignty. In late 1975, Moroccan government organized the Green March of some 350,000 Moroccan citizens, escorted by around 20,000 troops, who entered Western Sahara, trying to establish a Moroccan presence. While at first met with just minor resistance by the Polisario, Morocco later engaged a long period of guerrilla warfare with the Sahrawi nationalists. During the late 1970s, the Polisario Front, desiring to establish an independent state in the territory, successively fought both Mauritania and Morocco. In 1979, Mauritania withdrew from the conflict after signing a peace treaty with the Polisario. The war continued in low intensity throughout the 1980s, though Morocco made several attempts to take the upper hand in 1989 to 1991. A ceasefire agreement was finally reached between the Polisario Front and Morocco in September 1991. Some sources put the final death toll between 10,000 and 20,000 people. Today most of the territory of Western Sahara is under Moroccan control, while the inland parts are governed by the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, managed by the Polisario Front. The region continues to be under occupation by Morocco. At second we have northern Cyprus occupied by Turkey. To begin with, Cyprus consists of a sizable population of Greek Cypriot and they wanted Cyprus to be annexed by Greece. In the July of 1974, Cypriot National Guard staged a coup and replaced Cypriot President Archbishop Makarios III and installed Proanosis Nikos Sampson. In July 1974, Turkish forces invaded and captured 3% of the island before a ceasefire was declared. The Greek military junta collapsed and was replaced by a democratic government. In August 1974 further Turkish invasion resulted in the capture of approximately 40% of the island. The ceasefire line from August 1974 became the United Nations buffer zone in Cyprus and is commonly referred to as the Green Line. In 1983 the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus declared independence, although Turkey is the only country that recognizes it. The international community considers this territory as Turkish-occupied territory of the Republic of Cyprus. The occupation is viewed as illegal under international law, amounting to illegal occupation of European Union territory since Cyprus became its member. This is one of the regions still considered an occupation. At top of the list we have East Jerusalem, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, West Bank occupied by Israel. It started from the year 1967, right after the famous Six-Day War and continues till this day. Relations between Israel and its neighbors had never fully normalized following the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. In the period leading up to June 1967, tensions became dangerously heightened. In reaction to the mobilization of Egyptian forces along the Israeli border in the Sinai Peninsula, Israel launched a series of preemptive airstrikes against Egyptian airfields. The Egyptians were caught by surprise, and nearly the entire Egyptian Air Force was destroyed with few Israeli losses, giving the Israelis air superiority. Simultaneously, the Israelis launched a ground offensive into the Gaza Strip and the Sinai, which again caught the Egyptians by surprise. After some initial resistance, Egyptian leader Gamal Abdel Nasser ordered the evacuation of the Sinai. Israeli forces rushed westward in pursuit of the Egyptians, inflicted heavy losses, and conquered the Sinai. Nasser induced Syria and Jordan to begin attacks on Israel by using the initially confused situation to claim that Egypt had defeated the Israeli airstrike. Israeli counterattacks resulted in the seizure of East Jerusalem as well as the West Bank from the Jordanians, while Israel's retaliation against Syria resulted in its occupation of the Golan Heights. On June 11, a ceasefire was signed. Arab casualties were far heavier than those of Israel. Fewer than 1,000 Israelis had been killed compared to over 20,000 from the Arab forces. Israel's military success was attributed to the element of surprise, an innovative and well-executed battle plan, and the poor quality and leadership of the Arab forces. Israel seized control of the Gaza Strip and the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the West Bank and East Jerusalem from Jordan, and the Golan Heights from Syria. Israeli morale and international prestige was greatly increased by the outcome of the war and the area under Israeli control tripled. Till this day, these regions are under the military control of Israel.
If you like this video, please subscribe.